Hello and welcome back to the Xlabbers podcast. James, today we're going to talk about the importance of English for the economy. As a British entrepreneur living in Morocco, what are your thoughts on the topic?
Thanks for having me again, Xlabber. I think the importance of English for the economy is a no-brainer. English is the lingua franca of international business, diplomacy, education, and research. It's essential for Morocco to develop its economy and keep up with the global market.
Absolutely, but some people might argue that Morocco should focus on promoting its own native language, Arabic or Darija. What do you think about that?
While I think it's important to promote and preserve the native language, the reality is that English has established itself as the international language of business, diplomacy, and technology. It's a language that is spoken by a vast majority of the global population. By not using English in these fields, Morocco misses out on opportunities to interact, exchange, and trade with other countries.
That's a good point, James. Can you share any examples of how English has impacted the economy in Morocco?
Sure, there have been numerous studies that have investigated the correlation between English proficiency and economic growth. Countries with higher levels of English proficiency are likely to grow faster. A common language lowers international trade transaction costs as translation and other services are no longer needed. Morocco has been striving to modernize its economy by moving from agriculture to manufacturing and then to service industries, and the services sector is predicated on interpersonal skills, where language is indispensable.
Interesting. And what about employability?
The level of English proficiency has a direct impact on both earning gains and employability. In a study about Switzerland, English language skills were found to significantly influence earning gains in the labor market, and that the wage difference between those with high English proficiency and those without it exceeds 30% for top-level competence and less for lower competence level. Morocco has seen a massive increase in multinationals in the past 10 years, operating mainly in the automotive and the aeronautics industries, which has increased the demand for English.
It's clear that English is a key factor for economic development in Morocco. Do you have any suggestions on how to promote the use of English in Morocco?
I think it's important for the government to promote the learning of English from an early age, starting from primary school. There should be more English language training programs available for people who want to improve their skills, and more partnerships with international schools, universities, and businesses. The private sector can also play a role by investing in English language training programs for their employees.
Absolutely, James. There is no doubt that being able to communicate in English opens doors for many people in Morocco. From an economic standpoint, there are many benefits to being proficient in English, which is the lingua franca of international business, diplomacy, education, research, and technology. As a British entrepreneur who has decided to stay in Morocco, what has been your experience with the role of English in the economy here?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I've seen firsthand how important English is for doing business here in Morocco. Many companies in Morocco are international, and a lot of the time, they use English as their primary language for communication. If you want to succeed in business here, you need to be able to speak and write in English effectively.
That's very true, James. A lot of businesses in Morocco have international partners and clients, so being able to communicate with them in English is a must. And it's not just about the business sector where English proficiency is important. It's also crucial for the employability of Moroccans. Studies have shown that having a good command of English can significantly increase your earning potential.
Yes, that's very true. In fact, many multinational companies are now operating in Morocco, especially in the automotive and aeronautics industries. These companies require their employees to be proficient in English, so it's becoming more and more important for young people to learn the language. And, of course, being able to communicate in English can also make it easier for Moroccans to find work abroad.
Absolutely. In addition to employability, there are also many benefits of knowing English for entitlement. For example, students who are proficient in English have more opportunities to study abroad, and they're more likely to be accepted in top universities. And of course, being able to speak English can also make it easier for Moroccans to migrate to other countries like Canada, Australia, and so on.
That's a great point. English is the language of international communication, and it's important for Moroccans to be able to participate fully in the global community. By learning English, Moroccans can broaden their horizons and explore new opportunities both at home and abroad.
Absolutely. The benefits of English proficiency are clear, and it's important for Morocco to continue to invest in language education. Fortunately, there are many organizations and programs that are working to promote English proficiency in Morocco. For example, Xlabber in Morocco offers English language trainings for individuals and businesses.
That's great to hear. I think that with more investment in language education and more emphasis on the importance of English proficiency, Morocco can become an even stronger player in the global economy.
I completely agree, James. It's not just about the economic benefits of English proficiency. It's also about building cultural bridges and promoting understanding between different cultures. By learning English, Moroccans can connect with people from all over the world and share their own culture and tradition.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most valuable things about language education. It's not just about learning a new language, it's also about opening up new opportunities and building relationships with people from different backgrounds.
Well said, James. That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll be back tomorrow with another fascinating discussion about hospitality in Morocco. See you.